Hey everybody, Vash Fincher here again, doing the videos, cranking them out, trying to actually do it while the sun's up, which is not usually working because it's getting dark at like 5 o'clock nowadays. But anyways, I'm in my garage, which isn't so cold right now. It was kind of a warm day, huzzah. And so what I figured out is I'd actually try to use this time to figure out what to do with these. I've got a whole bunch of these containers just left over from exactly that. It's just whole oat. Every morning I have a mixture of a soylent, our version of a soylent, which is basically just whole oat powder and whey powder and some other additives every morning. So I'm left over with tons of whole oat powder containers. They're massive, let's see, what are these, 8-pound containers, and a whole bunch of whey containers that are also the exact same size. So I've been trying to figure out, since I've got so many of these just left over, what to do with them. And it kind of dawned on me that this kind of plastic is usually got a pretty low melting point. And so I did a little bit of research, and turns out that this is PETE plastic. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. But this has about a melting temperature of around 500 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it's like 280 degrees Celsius or something like that. And so my theory is I'm going to take this, put a bicycle inner tube, glue it onto the top here, and I'm hopefully going to get this plastic hot enough to basically injection mold it into a square shape using a milk crate container. So the theory goes is that I'll just have this kind of plasticky, not molten or anything crazy, put it in here, use my compressor behind me to actually inflate this to a square shape. And with any luck at that point, I've got myself nice square shaped containers that I can actually just bolt together and make kind of a nifty little shelving system out of it, because it's got a nice lip to it, so it shouldn't have anything spill out of it. I can just put the cap on it if I need to, etc., etc. But a square shape is a lot more usable shape than all these random things that just take up no space. So that's my theory. Let's go through it. Alright, got my curing station up and running here, and got this set to about 276 degrees Fahrenheit. So it should be low enough to actually get this specific type of plastic, you know, plasticky, maybe, I'm not entirely sure. It seems kind of low because, you know, this is 275 is quite a bit below 500, but honestly, this is a smoker and it's pretty much as high as it'll go. I did forget to mention, though, that I do have two different plastics. This is actually a different type of plastic. This is HDPE plastic, which has a melting temperature of like 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So this should work just fine. But of course I might have to turn it down because it might actually become just a molten mess inside of here. Alright, so as it turns out I lied. These are actually different sized containers, just barely. They're a 5-pound and an 8-pound container, and the 8-pound whey or oatmeal container is a smaller lid than the 5-pound whey container. So unfortunately, I'll have to make two of these. That's okay, because the one I have in the oven is this size. I have plenty of those. So I got my tire piece here, a little inflatable piece. I got it off of a you know, standard size tire inflatable tube. And so I just plan on using this exact, pretty much identically sized drill bit just to make a hole here. And then I should just be able to glue this right to the top. Use this just to keep the sealant. It should actually hold pretty well. And glue it all in place, and then by the time that's all ready to go, the other piece should be molten. So let's drill that out. Ooh, tight fit. Let's draw it out a little bit more. Much cleaner. And nice and snug. I like to have a press fit, so basically it's super airtight. Geez, at this point I might not even actually need to glue it in place. We'll try that out. Alright. Let's see here, I got it in here on the top. Let's lock it down. Got my compressor. See how tight it is. Whew. I think it's only leaking around the outside seal here. Yeah, it's not leaking through the top here, it's only leaking around the outside. I'll really crank this down. Oh, I can squeeze on it and hear the... Yeah, I can hear the air bypassing it, just squeezing on it. So I might just have to go and make like a... I actually figured out that the rubber was catching on the threads, and if I do it now, barely leaks at all. So, I'm gonna try that. No glue. Well, my battery is dead, so I rushed and I opened up the oven to find this mangled mess already. I think it's because I left the cap on. I'm not sure. Alright, it's only been in there a few minutes. Let's check it to make sure it's not a melty. It's already started to get on the hot side. Probably half of the issue with this is putting it right next to the element. And instead of putting it next to the element, put it on the rack up top. We'll see if that does the trick. Alright, try number 2 or 3 or something. Feels warm and melty. Pain with the bucket closed. Not enough yet. Might have to go with the lower temperature stuff to make this a little bit easier. Oh, that didn't work. That's why you wear safety glasses. It's a little bit of a surveying the damage. I was wearing gloves and really happy I was wearing gloves. So, safety first. And I was wearing my glasses, of course. And over here would be what's left of the top. Shrapnel. This is what's left of the actual top. Oh, there's the other pieces. Just fell right inside. Wow. That was loud. Alright, I was wearing eye protection, I was wearing gloves. I really should have been wearing some ear protection, it turns out, because I'm kind of archery. Even like a day later, I'm kind of tinnitus-y. But yeah, overall it wasn't too bad. Safety, make sure you're careful with your projects. And really happy I was wearing protection on my hands, because I know I would end up with some serious cuts if I didn't have that on there. And I think even in the video you can see me grasping my left hand, because I'm just like, ooh, that was painful and like really sketchy. So just wanted to say, be safe out there with your projects. That's the end of this project for now. I'll probably try the lower temperature plastic and see if that's a little more successful, because it should be able to be pliable easier without being nearly as rigid like that top was at a cold temperature as well. So those are the things considered for the next video. So until next time, be safe. This has been Vash Venture. Bye.